68 million years ago, North America was a very different world. Vast swamps, dense fern forests, a sky thick with pterosaurs, and walking through it all, a creature so armored, so powerful, so terrifying in its presence, that even the apex predator of the Cretaceous dared not charge it alone. Triceratops horridus, the horrible three-horned face. Up to 30 feet long, 12 tons of muscle, bone, and keratin. Its most iconic feature, the frill, was not just armor. Scientists now believe it flushed with color, used to attract mates, intimidate rivals, and communicate across the herd. Two massive brow horns, each up to 3 feet long, jutted forward like biological lances. This was not an animal that ran from danger. It turned to face it. Triceratops were herbivores, but don't mistake that for gentle. They grazed on the toughest, most fibrous plants, using a beak powerful enough to snap through palm fronds and cycad trunks. Their teeth were self-sharpening, hundreds of them stacked in columns, worn down and replaced continuously throughout their lives. They likely lived in loose herds, communicating through low rumbles and frill displays. Young Triceratops traveled in the center of the group. The most iconic rivalry in prehistoric history was not fiction. Fossil evidence proves these two giants clashed repeatedly. Triceratops bones bearing T-Rex bite marks that show signs of healing prove the herbivore's resilience, and the Triceratops fought back hard. Paleontologists have found T-Rex bones with puncture wounds matching Triceratops horn dimensions. A charging Triceratops could accelerate to 15 miles per hour, driving 3 feet of bone into whatever stood in its way. This was not a hunt, it was a war. The frill of a Triceratops is riddled with blood vessels, too many for a purely defensive structure. It was almost certainly a display organ, like a peacock's tail, but built from bone and skin. It could flush with color, ripple, and signal. Dominance, desire, warning. Some specimens show frills uniquely shaped per individual, suggesting they could recognize each other. These were not mindless reptiles, they had identities. Since the first skull was discovered in 1887, paleontologists have unearthed hundreds of specimens across the Hell Creek Formation. We know that young Triceratops had shorter, straighter horns that curved and lengthened as they aged, changing shape throughout their lives. And perhaps most astonishingly, we now know that Triceratops lived right up to the very last days of the dinosaurs. The final specimens died within 33,000 years of the asteroid impact. Triceratops did not go quietly. 66 million years ago, an asteroid 6 miles wide struck with the force of 1 billion nuclear bombs. The sky went dark for years. Temperatures plummeted. The food chain collapsed. The Triceratops was erased by something it could never have faced or fought. And yet, the Triceratops is still with us, in every museum, every child's imagination, every fossil that reminds us life found a way, until suddenly it couldn't.